Okay, how's it going, guys? Today I figured I would show you some tech tips this time. Last time I showed you some Windows tips. It's probably not going to be a very long stream, but hopefully this will help you out if you ever decide to run Linux. Because I know the first time I ran it, it was pretty complicated getting started. So the first thing I want to show you is the use of tab. It's the tab key. It's on your keyboard. Uh, it's really useful for certain things, uh, like say you're typing in something that's really a long command and you don't want to type it. Like let's say it's something like this, where you're typing in a name. It's like uh, good file, and notice that these letters are capitalized, so it'd be kind of a pain in the butt to type something in like this. Long file name is here dot run. Well, wouldn't it be nice to just just be able to hit like G and then press the tab file and it just print the whole thing out on the screen there, so you don't have to type the whole thing? Well, that's what the tab key is for. Let me demonstrate that. So I'm going to make a ridiculously long file name, and we'll just call it, I don't know, nice big long file name. So you notice that if I type G, well, actually that won't do that. So let me do. I have to do this for you guys in order for this to work. What is it? User and execute. Okay, now if I type G and just press the tab key, well, for some reason it's not doing it. Well, I don't know why that's not doing that, because you can clearly see that it's there. But in most instances, it should. It keeps wanting to just put Git. I don't know why. Oh, I know why. That's because I'm not calling it correctly. Okay. Now I press G and press Tab, and then voila, it prints out the whole thing. So you don't have to type in the whole big mess there. You can press Tab, and it prints the whole thing out. Very useful if you have a long file name, because a lot of file names in Linux can get ridiculously long, especially when you're downloading packages to install. The next thing I want to show you is, let me go to a folder in my home directory here, and let me just make an extra one, just in case. Downloads, make downloads. I don't know. Also downloads. Well. Okay. Now I'm in the also downloads folder that I just created. And let me go back all the way just so it makes sense. Okay, there we go. So I'm going from my home directory to that also downloads folder that I just made. And let's say I want to go back to my home directory from there, or I want to go back to the directory I started at, rather, not my home directory. The directory that we started at, which the directory you're currently on is called your working directory. So let's say we want to go back to the directory we started at before we CD'd into our also downloads folder that we made. So all we do is type cd and we put a dash, and then I'll go back to the home directory where we started. Without having to cd ... all the way back, it would just take you back to the previous directory that you were in. Next thing I want to show you, and I just learned about this. This is actually a pretty neat command. Let's say you're needing to find out all of the files in a directory with their information, like their size and their permissions and all that. Well, usually we type ls-l, and it'll give you that, where it displays all the information about all the files in the current directory you're in. Well, you could also do this command, which is a lot faster than typing ls-l. You just type in 2 L's, and it does the same thing. The only difference is this actually will display not only the ls-l, but it also does the option to display all the hidden directories and files in the that's in the folder you're currently in, or whichever one you specify. But it's pretty neat, considering that, you know, it's a lot better than typing that, because you have to reach up and press that key. The next thing I want to show you is the use of the semicolon in order to run multiple commands. So let's say you need to do like a command, and then you need to do another command, but you want to do them all in one go. You don't want to have to type in like command 1 and then press enter, and the command 2 and then press enter. You want to do it all in one line. Well, that's what the semicolon is for. So we could do 2 commands, like we could do touch semicolon, or we could do touch, let's make a file called A. So we're going to do the first command, touch, and then the name of the file that I want to make, A, and a semicolon, and then we're going to do our second command, which is, let's just do LL. And what it's going to do is it's going to do touch A, and then semicolon tells it to run the next command as well, which is LL. So we press enter, and if we scroll up a little bit, we notice that our file named A was created, and it also gave us the directory listing with LL. So clear that off. The next thing is let's say you want to do the same thing with the semicolons do, but you want to only do the second command if the first command was successful. Let's say you may have done a typo on the first command, and if that command didn't work, then it would break something in the system if it actually did the second command while the first one didn't get done. I can't really think of I'm sure there's probably some use for it out there, but this is how you do it. It basically would just save you time more than I guess breaking something, but this is how you would do it. So you separate it with 2 ampersands. So basically it says do one command, and hey, if that command actually worked, do the second command. But if the first command didn't work, then just stop. Don't do anything else. So for example, we're going to go touch A, and then ampersand, and then go ls. And actually that wouldn't, well, it worked anyway. You'll notice that our A file was created. It was already there, but anyway, it still worked. And then it did an ls of the directory. But let's say the first command didn't work. Let's say I'm going to type in just some garble something, and then we're going to go and then ls, and then watch what happens. It says that that command was not found because it's not a command. It's just a bunch of gibberish. And it didn't do the ls command because the first command wasn't a command at all. So it failed. Now, it doesn't have to be a command that's not actually in, a Linux command. It could be something that was actually a command, but an option that you added wasn't correct or something. Something that made that first command fail, which could be a whole mess load of things, but this is probably the most basic fail, is the fact that, hey, the command wasn't found. The next I'm going to show you is the use of the tail command. The tail command is actually pretty cool in the use of log files, because let's say, in a log file, it runs from the oldest data to the newest data. So when you're looking at a log file in order to debug things, you don't really want to look at the oldest data because it's probably not going to be very useful. And a log file is probably going to be massive. So in order to not have to look at the majority of that old data, what you could do is you could type in the tail command. So you just type in tail, and I have an Xorg file that actually moved over here just for that usage. So you type in tail, and it shows you the last of what's in the file. And just to show you how long that file is, I'll do the cat command, and then I'll pop it to list, and you'll see that this file is actually really massive. So you see that it only showed you the last little bit of what was on the screen, of what was in the file, rather than the entire file. The next thing I want to show you is the use of the touch command. Oh wait, actually before I do that, let me show you another command you can do where you can use the cat command again, and we're going to search for a file, or a name rather, a word that's in the file. So let's say you're searching for something and you only need to know like a line that's in the file. So what it'll do is it'll search every line, and then it'll print out only the line or lines that it finds. And in this case, it right at the end of the file, before I started this, I actually put in hello world, which is at the end of the file, but it could be anywhere in the file, and it would have printed that line out. The next thing I want to show you is the use of the touch command. The touch command is useful for making blank files. What it does is it just creates a blank file. There's absolutely nothing in it. So you could type in like this. You type in touch, and then the name of the file you want to make. So it would be like you could make touch file. And then what it does is it makes a file called touch file. And you could call that file anything you wanted. I just called it touch file because that's what we're doing. So I'll clear the screen off again. And the next thing I want to show you is the use of the move command. The move command actually has two separate uses. One, I'm going to go ahead and set up for my showing you this. The touch command actually, or not the touch command, the move command actually has two uses. One is moving files, and one is renaming files. I know you would think that there would be a rename command in Linux, but actually Linux has nothing called rename. You use move in order to create or rename a file. So in order to move a file, let me see a directory we can move one of these into. So let's say we want to move the file I just created with the touch command called C. And we want to move it to, I don't know, the documents folder. So, or not documents. I don't think you have to have the slash in there. Yeah. So if we go to documents, you'll see that the C has actually moved from my home directory to my documents folder. Or actually, we were moving the, yeah, okay. Now the next thing I want to show you guys, I was already in the home directory. The next thing I want to show you guys is the use of the move command to rename files. So what you can do is you could rename, let's say, this D file that I created with the touch command. We're gonna rename that one to, I don't know, DD. So you're gonna say move D and then DD, and then you'll see that it changed to DD. I really know that's a really awkward way of doing it in Linux, but it's pretty cool. Like, it gets the job done. The last thing I want to show you guys is the use of the man command. Now, if there's anything out there that that I didn't go over, which is 99% of things in Linux, the man command can basically show you anything. Like, it's probably the godsend of anything to do with trying to learn anything in Linux. So in order to use the man command, you literally just type man and then the command you want to learn about. So we can just put in like the ls command, and here you go. Here's the man page for the ls command, and it shows you things you can do in it. There's a whole bunch of options, and you can hit the up and down arrows on your keyboard, and you can go up and down the list here, and it'll show you just pretty much everything to do with the command in detail. And to get out, you just press the Q key, and that gets you out, and you're back to your command line again. I hope that's helped you guys out. I know this was a pretty short stream compared to some of the others I've done, but I really hope this helps you, and I hope you guys go out and try Linux. It's free. You can get it from multiple different websites. I suggest probably like a Ubuntu, if that's what you if you're wanting to start out and you've never been in Linux before. I would say Ubuntu. They make all kinds of different variations of it. The particular one I just used is Xubuntu, and it's pretty basic, but I'm not really a basic user. I'm more of like a power user, but it allows more processing power for your applications. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this and learned something and got something out of it. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.